This is lesson number 10, week 10 of 52. We're going to cover Numbers 23 through Deuteronomy, the second chapter, in our Through the Bible study in 1 year. Last time we saw Israel disbelieve God and wander 40 years in the wilderness. This time we will see them inch closer to their promised land. And the children of Israel set forward and pitched in the plains of Moab, on this side Jordan of Jericho. Numbers 22:1. Word went quickly that Israel had defeated King Arad and the Canaanites, King Sihon and the Amorites, and King Og of Bashan. This gave Israel control of the entire Transjordan, as they gained position to enter Canaan from the east. And King Balak, the king of Moab, saw all that Israel had done, and Moab was sore afraid. 22, 2 through 4. Moab should not have feared, since the Moabites were distantly related to the Israelites. Genesis 19, 26 through 37, whom the Lord said were not to be provoked. This would lead to a very unusual story, made possible only because of the supernatural ability of God. The king of Moab knew he was outmatched by the Israelites, so his only recourse was to hire a prophet to put a curse on Israel. He sent messengers, therefore, unto Balaam. There is a people come out from Egypt, and they cover the face of the earth, and they abide over against me. Come now, therefore, I pray thee, and curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Numbers 22, 5 through 7. But then God spoke to Balaam, Thou shalt not go. You shall not curse Israel, for they are blessed. 22:12. His permissive will did allow him to go, but knew he loved the wages of wickedness. 2 Peter 2:15. Balaam began the journey, 22:21, but God's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way. 22:22. And the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the donkey turned aside out of the way, and went into the field. And Balaam smote the donkey, to turn her into the way. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself into the wall, and crushed Balaam's foot. And he smote her again, and he smote her with a staff. 22:23-27. After being struck 3 times, the donkey had enough. And the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said unto Balaam, What have I done unto you, that you have smitten me these 3 times? 22:28. Finally, the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam to see the angel. 22:31. Agreeing to go to Balak, but only to speak that which the Lord told him to say. 22:35. God allowed Balaam to go to the king of Moab, but instead of cursing Israel, God would use him to reveal himself. Blessed is he that blesseth thee, and cursed is he that curseth thee. Numbers 24:9. Obviously, King Balak was not happy with Balaam blessing Israel, and Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam. 24:10. Here's one of the many cases in the Bible where God uses something bad, a false prophet solicited to place a curse on Israel, but turns it into something good. Balaam espousing how God had blessed his nation, Israel. Balaam had also been revealed that out of Israel would come future royalty, referring, of course, to Messiah. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter or a king shall rise out of Israel. Numbers 24:17. Next, God predicted that the future defeat and captivity of Israel by the Assyrians. Asher shall carry thee, Israel, away captive. Numbers 24:22. And Israel abode in Shittim, which is Moab, and the Israelites began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And the Moabites called the Israelites unto the sacrifices of their gods, and the people did eat, and bowed down to their gods. Numbers 25:1 and 2. You can imagine God's reaction. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. Slay you every one his men that were joined unto Baal. Numbers 25:3-5. Though Baal did not place a curse on Israel, he had a very negative effect in that many began to participate in idol worship. Their punishment, death for those who broke the first commandment. A new census. Because the previous generation had all died in the wilderness, a new count was taken. 26:2. The grand total, 601,730, similar to the 603,550 taken 40 years earlier. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Unto these, the tribes of Israel, the land shall be divided for an inheritance. To many thou shalt give the more inheritance, and to few thou shalt give the less inheritance. Numbers 26:52-54. The size of tribe would determine how large a parcel of land, but by lot where it would be located. 26:56. The Levites had no allocation of land, 26:62, because of their responsibility to the tabernacle and worship system. These are they that are numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priest, who numbered the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho. There was not a man of them save Caleb and Joshua. 26:63-65. Moses and Aaron had carried out the previous census, this one Moses and Aaron's son. All had died of the previous generation except Moses, Joshua, and Caleb, as God said would happen. And the Lord said unto Moses, Get thee up unto this Mount Abarim, and see the land which I have given unto the children of Israel. And when thou hast seen it, thou also shalt be gathered unto thy people, as Aaron thy brother was gathered. For ye rebelled against my commandment in the desert of Zin, the water of Meribah in Kadesh. Numbers 27:12-14. Let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation, which may go out before them, and which may lead them out, and which may bring them in, that the congregation of the Lord be not as sheep which have no shepherd. Take thee Joshua, and lay thy hand upon him. Numbers 27:16-18. Because the previous generation had all died, there was a need to reiterate the commands of God given at Mount Sinai to the new generation of Israelites. This was the final instruction concerning the Sabbath. And on the Sabbath day, 2 lambs of the first year without spot, and 2/10 deals of flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil, and the drink offering. This is the burnt offering of every Sabbath. Numbers 28, 9 and 10. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterward shalt thou be gathered unto thy people. 31:1. God punished Midian, who was in league with Moab, for their role in Israel's pagan worship of Baal of Peor. This was a holy war, as Phinehas, the grandson of Aaron, led the march with the holy items of the tabernacle, as 12,000 Israelites killed every Midianite male. 31, 1 through 7. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great multitude of cattle. And when they saw the land of Gilead, that, behold, the place was a place for cattle, they came and spoke unto Moses and to Eleazar, If we have found grace in thy sight, let this land be given unto thy servants for a possession, and bring us not over Jordan. Numbers 32, 1 through 5. After conquering Moab, the leaders of Reuben and Gad saw the potential for cattle farming and petitioned Moses for land east of the Jordan River. His first reaction was to say no, believing that the other tribes might resist crossing the Jordan to drive out the Canaanites. 32, 6 through 15. But they promised after settling there, they would go fight with the other tribes to free the land. 32, 16 through 32. Moses finally agreed, and these 2 tribes, along with half of the tribe of Manasseh, settled east of the Jordan River. Numbers 32, 33 through 42. Chapter 33 of Numbers is a summary of Israel's journeys from the time they left Egypt until they arrived at their present destination in the plains of Moab. And the Lord spoke unto Moses in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, When you are passed over Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy all their pictures, molten images, pluck down all their high places, and you shall dispossess the inhabitants of the land and dwell therein. For I have given you the land to possess it. 33, 50 through 53. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, The 2 tribes, Reuben and Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh, have received their inheritance on this side of Jordan, near Jericho eastward. These are the names of the men which shall divide the land west of Jordan unto you, Eleazar the priest, and Joshua. And you shall take 1 prince of every tribe to divide the land by inheritance. Numbers 34, 15 through 17. Eleazar and Joshua would supervise the allotment process with 1 leader from each tribe. God's plan for the land included a specific number of cities within each allotment. A small number of these were to be for refuge. If an Israelite committed an accidental crime, he could find a safe haven until he was tried in a court of law. It did not mean he could escape the law. These are the commandments and judgments which the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses unto the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho. Numbers 36:13. The book of Numbers ends with the authentication that the words written in it are of God and written down to be preserved by his servant Moses. It gets his name from the census God called for in numbering the children of Israel. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of the Jordan in the wilderness. Deuteronomy 1:1. Moses completed the writing of the first 5 books of the Old Testament, the Pentateuch, just before the Israelites were to cross the river Jordan into Canaan. He provided a second, the word Deutero, reading of the law, which he received first at Mount Sinai 40 years earlier. His goal in doing so was to make sure Israel saw the importance of their obedience to God, as set forth in the commandments of the law. If Israel refused to heed, they would find insurmountable odds as they entered the land of paganism. If they obeyed God, there would be no end of the blessing God would lavish upon the nation he had created after his own name. Israel means God fights. The book of Deuteronomy is delivered in a 3-part message. The first part, 1:1 to 4:59, is an introduction. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of the Jordan in the wilderness. Deuteronomy 1:1. The second part, from 5:1 to 26:15, are the general requirements of the law. And Moses called all Israel and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that you may learn them and keep them and do them. Deuteronomy 5:1. The third address, from 26:16 to 34:12, are specific details of the law. This day the Lord thy God hath commanded thee to do these statutes and judgments. Thou shalt therefore keep them and do them with all thine heart and with all thine soul. 26:16. It should have taken Israel just 11 days to journey the 150 miles, which would be 13.5 miles each day, from Mount Oreb in the Sinai to Kadesh Barnea. It took them 40 years. Deuteronomy 1:2. And it came to pass in the 40th year, in the 11th month, and on the first day of the month, that Moses spoke unto the children of Israel according to all the Lord had given him in the commandment unto them. Deuteronomy 1:3. Christ had been a good husband to Israel, but she had spurned him, to whom our fathers would not obey, but thrust him from them, and in their hearts turned back into Egypt. Acts 7:39. Being stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears, they had resisted the Holy Spirit. Acts 7:51. Moses sternly warned them as the next generation of Israelites was about to enter into the promised land. Don't do it again. On this side of Jordan, in the land of Moab, began Moses to declare this law, saying, The Lord our God spoke unto us in Oreb, saying, You have dwelt long enough in this mount. Turn you and take your journey, and go to the mount of the Amorites, and into all the places nigh thereunto, in the plains and the hills, and in the vale, and in the south, and by the seaside, to the land of the Canaanites, and unto Lebanon, unto the great river Euphrates. Behold, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land, which the Lord sware unto your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give unto them and to their seed after them. Deuteronomy 1, 5 through 8. The same promise of the land given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was given to Moses to give to the descendants of the patriarchs. Moses continued to give the next generation of Israelites a history lesson of the events of the past 40 years. Israel became a large and mighty nation, and God would continue to increase and bless them. Deuteronomy 1, 10 and 11. They had become so large that Moses needed help to govern them. 1:15 through 17, which he received. From Mount Oreb or Mount Sinai to Kadesh, they went through 150 miles of horrific desert, which had no food or water. 119, yet God provided. At Kadesh, they sent 12 men to spy out the land of Canaan, some saying it was a good land. 121 through 25. But the majority were fearful of those who lived there. 126 through 28. They should not have been afraid, because God was going to do the fighting for them. The Lord your God, which goeth before you, he shall fight for you, according to all that he did for you in Egypt before your eyes. Deuteronomy 1:30. But Israel lacked faith in the one who created and preserved them. 132. And who led them to the next destination by a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. 133. As a result, God would allow only Caleb and Joshua of that generation and the children under 20 to see their promised land. 136 through 39. All the others would die in the wilderness. But as for you, you disbelievers, turn you and take your journey into the wilderness, where they were to die. Deuteronomy 1:40. They were sorry for disbelieving God, but it was too late, as he imposed judgment on them. Deuteronomy 1:41. If Israel proceeded to enter Canaan, they should know God was not with them and would likely be destroyed by the enemy. 141. Moses reminded Israel of their defeat at the hands of the Amorites. So I spoke unto you, and you would not hear, but rebelled against the commandment of the Lord, and went presumptuously up into the hill. And the Amorites which dwelt in that mountain came out against you, and chased you as bees do, and destroyed you in Seir, even unto Hormah. And you returned and wept before the Lord. But the Lord would not hearken to your voice, nor give you ear. 143 through 45. Next, God told Israel to proceed on through Edom. And command thou the people, saying, You are to pass through the coast of your brethren, the children of Esau, and they shall be afraid of you. Take ye good heed unto yourselves. Meddle not with them. I have given Edom unto Esau for a possession. Deuteronomy 2, 1 through 5. But Edom refused to allow Israel to pass through their land. Numbers 20, 14 through 21. A sin which God never forgave. Thus saith the Lord God, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate. Ezekiel 25:12 through 14. God had nothing good to say about Edom after she refused passage through her land. Next time, Moses continues the second reading of the law. We're going to study Deuteronomy 3 through 23.